Hey guys, it's Madison again, and I am doing my second discussion leader post for the summer class. So I'm doing the Hidra and Sadhin, neither man nor woman in India article. And to start, basically some background that gender diversity in India is set within a basically binary sex gender system that is hierarchical. So in Hinduism, in contrast to the Western culture, the female principle is more active, and males are more inert or Latin in that sense. So, they see female power as almost dangerous and to be feared unless it's controlled by a male or a man. And they think powerful women must be restrained by male authority, which is part of like their daily lives and their rituals and their religion. So their goddess is looked at to be kind of helpful, but when she's dominant, it can be very aggressive, devouring, and destructive. When sex and gender variants occur in Hindu sex gender systems, the most visible or culturally institutionalized is the Hidras. So we've been talking about that in our discussion, so I'm going to go into it. The Hidra is culturally defined as neither man nor woman. So these Hidras, they're born as males. And when they're born as males, they are sexed by another Hidra. And then when they grow older, they are surgically become the third alternative as neither. So they're neither man nor woman. And they're just that third alternative as the Hidra. This is recorded to occur as early as the 8th century in India. They call it more commonly in India today as a eunuch, which is an intersexed, and these eunuchs cannot reproduce. So the Hidras have no sexual desire for women. They also take part in intercourse with men mostly, and they can even go as far as falling to prostitution as being a Hidra. And they do take on all of the feminine roles too as well. So women, they have their dresses. So the Hidras will wear the dresses. They'll have the same hairstyles, same accessories. They'll take on the walking nature, so how these women walk, their gestures, their expressions, and even their language, so how they talk on the daily. Hidras also use coarse and abusive speech. So that's one of the main differences, is how yes, their language is very similar, but at the same time, since they typically begin as a man, they talk with a more coarse, abusive speech, and this is also seen as a deviant thing for a female in India. So socially, so let's talk about the social perspective of this. Socially, Hidras are sort of feared because of the decisional power they have over newborns, and that's a big decision. So when they sex a newborn and say whether or not they're going to be male, female, or a Hidra, which is the third party. These Hidras can also be mocked, respected, or even shown compassion by certain people. Nextly, we have not just the Hidra, but we go into our second option is the Sadhin, which is when a woman, on the other hand, renounces marriage. So instead of her going forth in her life and finding a man to marry and having children and that process, she will commit to celibacy for life and wear men's clothing, and they'll cut their hair very short and crop it so that they fit in with more of the male aspect of life. These women are viewed as, or these neither man or woman either, are viewed to be, must be a virgin and has to be an asexual female. So since they commit to celibacy, that means that they cannot have any intercourse of the nature, and they must be asexual for life. And this is an irreversible thing. So once they choose to be a Sadhin in their teen years, they cannot go back. They also have no ritual requirements. So it's men will go to funerals, and that's just kind of a thing that they have to do. These women are not required to do that, and they'll more commonly work female jobs as well, even though they are a Sadhin. So they dress as males, fit in with the male society, they'll smoke cigarettes with them and everything, but they do work female jobs, but are not required to. This is the idea, all of these ideas are that Hinduism allows for so many different ways of being human. And I found that so interesting because my perspective on Indian culture and Hinduism was really broadened by reading this article, and I learned a lot between Hidras and Sadhins and how they allow for many different pathways to be socially accepted in India. Thank you.